Here we go, the latest on Odell Beckham Jr. The Browns receiver was reportedly told yesterday not to come to practice. This after his father posted an 11-minute video on social media showing all the different times that Odell's been open and not targeted. Was not a great look for Baker in all of that. Head coach Kevin Stefanski went so far as reportedly telling his players that OBJ, quote, isn't on the team right now. In a word, it's messy. Hey, Broussard, if Cleveland cuts ties, Odell's next team should be blank.
All right, now look, I would not cut him, but if they do cut him, Nick, you're going to like this, the Kansas City Chiefs. Can you imagine OBJ in Kansas City? It would be just what the doctor ordered, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Alongside Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, I'll even throw in McCole Hardman. My goodness, we've had our own Michael Vick tell us repeatedly how much the Chiefs miss Sammy Watkins. OBJ could obviously replace Sammy Watkins and then some, because I don't believe he's washed. There's just not a connection between him and Baker. But also, this is important. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill have the clout. They have the stature within the league where I believe OBJ would respect them. He wouldn't go in there thinking, I got to be number one. Wouldn't obviously be able to complain about Patrick Mahomes maybe not targeting him enough. And in fairness, you know, I don't know what how the connection between OBS and OBJ was. But in fairness, all the reports are that OBJ has not been a problem within the Browns facility, except for maybe that atom bomb that was dropped this week. Okay, so I like him in Kansas City. I think if he is released and clears waivers, Browns got to pay him. The Chiefs, man, go get this done. Pronto.
So, look, I know you have a lot of place for your sports news, and you specifically come to us, the audience, because we give you a little bit extra. So I'm here with some tech news as well. There was an internet outage from New Haven all the way up to Portland, Maine. Everyone's like, what's going on, Wilds? So I dug into it. Turns out all the computing power in all of New England was busy making Photoshops of Odell Beckham and Mac Jones. It took a lot of computing power and ended up knocking down the system. So my answer is the Patriots. And now you're thinking, oh, Wilds, why would Odell want to go with Mac Jones? Oh, the just dinks and Dunkin' Donuts. Well, here's why. Can we show the statistic? Again, this took a lot of internet computing, too, because we had to dispel some untruths out there in the world, propagated from Nick Wright. Mac Jones has the exact same average depth of target as Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. So, Odell, I know you're a loyal watcher of the show. We've already got the jerseys cooked up. We've got the Photoshops. You want to come to hang out with Bill Belichick, the greatest coach in the entire history of sports? You come out over to Foxborough, my friend.
Okay. This is embarrassing for the show. Because what we have here is two men with an agenda. Broussard is doing his best to salvage his Chiefs Super Bowl pick. Meanwhile, Wilds is just going to say, hey, every good player should go to my favorite team, the Patriots. I, on the other hand, as the conscience and, let's be honest, the statistical brain of the show, has gone through this soberly, and we're going to go through it. Okay. So if Odell gets to pick his team, just cross out all the bad teams. Just cross them out. Then cross out all the teams with bad quarterbacks. Cross them out. And then then we are going to cross out teams that wouldn't be interested in Odell because their wide receiver room is full. So that's like the Bills. You've got MC Anti-Vax, Emmanuel Sanders, Stephon Diggs. The Titans with Julio and AJ Brown. Cowboys, obviously. The Bucks, the Cardinals, the Rams, all those teams. I would argue the Chargers with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So cross those teams out. All right, so who's left? So you have Baltimore, which makes a lot of sense because of the need at wide receiver. But does Odell want to be? I'm sure he likes Lamar, but we all see some of the limitations. You have Cincinnati. The LSU connection there. But they actually have 3 really good wide receivers and 1 superstar wide receiver. We can cross them out. Vegas, seemed like an option, but right now there's going to be a new coach there next year. Obviously, the tragedy involving the receiving corps right now, we're going to cross them out. Green Bay is where I had been saying Odell should go to, but Green Bay could have traded for him a few days ago, and they didn't. They seem very content with Devontae, Cobb, Broussard. So that leaves one team. It's a team that showed a need at wide receiver this year because they took a flyer on a guy who'd been out of football for 4 years. The only team left is the Chiefs, guys. That's just what the data says. They tried Josh Gordon. It hasn't worked out. I'm just telling you right now, when you break it all down, the only team that makes sense is the Kansas City Chiefs. They're a playoff team. They have a great quarterback. They have a great coach. They have a need at receiver. They have shown that they would bring in a receiver. They brought in Josh Gordon. Jenna Wolf, I'm just telling you, when you input the data, what it spits out is the Chiefs.
The thing.
I'm just
the statistical brain on this.
Sober,
you are
emotionless
those
analysis.
First 3 minutes
statistical
gone to your
brain.
Chiefs.
Well, speaking of the Chiefs that we just spent 3.5 hours getting to Nick's answer on, Patrick Mahomes has been a mainstay on Chris Broussard's Under Duress list.
He's explaining the steps of the study.
We loved it. It was great. And we love getting a peek inside that very complicated but beautiful brain of yours, Nick Wright. Will Mahomes be featured on Broussard's Under Duress list again headed into Sunday's showdown with the Packers? Find out next.
Good job.
Really? It spurned that much confusion?
You know who's flying up my list? Flying up.
Yes, I do.
A lot of people are writing me letters. Wilds, who's flying up your list? Well, the answer is the Warriors. Clay looking great. So good, LeBron decided to do a little bit of tampering, said he could watch Clay shoot all day. So that was not his captain's outfit. But here's the other thing that really has the Warriors flying up my list. It's from StatMuse. Because I know we think Warriors, offense, Clay. The Warriors have overtaken the Heat as the best defensive team this season. Their 97.8 defensive rating is the lowest since the 03-04 Pistons. They're 6-1, tied for the best record in the NBA. So, Broussard, I'll throw it to you for a quick second. Do you think that Clay's comeback will make them a better defensive team, or are you actually worried that he's lost a step defensively, although he still has the shot?
He won't be the same guy defensively just because, you know, his age and the Achilles that he's coming off of, but he'll be fine. He's a smart defender. And that's what Steph is. Steph isn't locking anybody down, but he's a smart defender. They got Andrew Wiggins, wink, wink, Nick, to be a defender. Andrew's a great defender.
Wiggins.
Draymond's a great defender. And I told you guys last week, and I will come back to this when relevant. Watch out for the Warriors. Now, I said that if the Lakers got it together, only Durant, Harden, and Kyrie could beat them. I'm throwing the Warriors out there. I'm throwing another big three. I saw Jordan Poole in the big three. Move him out of there. Draymond, Steph, and Clay will be a force to be reckoned with. I'm saying it right now.
More Milwaukee disrespect from Broussard, just ranking big threes ahead of the champions. But I just must respond real quick to Wild's slingshot at LeBron. As we learned from the great Chris Haynes article that came out yesterday about LeBron meeting with Dame, LeBron is not recruiting guys. Just as the elder statesman of the league, he's there to give his advice, lend his counsel, and help guys out. He wasn't trying to get Dame on the Lakers, just like he's not trying to get Clay on the Lakers. He's just there to compliment guys and help guide their careers. We know this, Jenna. We know this. So let's just be fair. LeBron just appreciates a beautiful jump shot.